All right. Good morning, Facebook. We're back for another Travel Talk Wednesday. You've got Rachel with you and Deb today again, and we are going to visit about the Indiana Amish Country tour that is coming up for 2022. Now, Deb took a trip very similar in 2021. It was so well received and very popular that she decided to do another trip back to the area in 2022. And you were just saying, even have a few from the trip last year that are going back again this year.
That's right.
So awesome. We're going to let you get going here and tell us all about Indiana Amish Tour. I'm going to put our number up to get in touch if you have any questions for Rhonda. And at the end, I'll also tell you about the website where you can find the itinerary available now. Take it away there, Deb.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And as Rachel said, I'm going to repeat this trip. It's planned for August 8th through the 12th. Last year, it sold out early once we got past the initial COVID stuff. It sold out fast. We had a full load going with us last year. And some of them have even said that they'd like to go back this year. So I'm going to do the trip again. We will be doing basically most of the same stuff, but part of the time while we're out there, I have added some new things in that we didn't do last year. Some of them were the group that wants to go back said, hey, please keep this in and keep that in, and so on and so forth. So I'm doing that, but they wanted some new things added in as well. So we're doing that. Again, this trip focuses out into the Shipshewana, Indiana area. We go out on Monday, and then we'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 full days. We'll have a step-on guide come on, and she will be with us the entire 3 days. And as far as traveling, we're just traveling within the Shipshewana, Middlebury, Indiana area, within about a 30-mile radius there we stay. So there's not a whole lot of travel time. So we get to take in a whole lot with it, just everything being, real close there. So I think you'll enjoy it. The entire time that we're out there, we will be staying at the Essen House Inn in Middlebury, Indiana, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, the top of my favorite hotels to stay in the whole country. As you know, Jim and I, over the course of the years, have traveled and spent many, many, many nights in hotels. And this is one of my top ranked hotels. It is just such a cool place to stay. It's all Amish related. They have several Amish and Mennonite folks that work there. But you'll see lots of Amish quilts hanging on the walls. The furniture is all the Amish made furniture, including the beds in your rooms, the dressers. Everything is all of your good, high quality Amish furniture. So it's really a neat place. And I think you'll enjoy it. And in addition, there at the Essen House, in addition to having just the hotel, it's kind of a property. It's kind of a complex, a resort type place is what it is. There's several stores there that you can go shop in that are right on the property. They have a bakery there and a nice restaurant that you'll get to take advantage of. So it's all kind of a neat place there. So the first day one, we'll take off from home here and pick you up in your pickup spot locations and take you out to Middlebury, Indiana, which is just about, probably 15, 20 miles at the very most from Shipshewana. It's not very far, maybe even less than that. And we'll get you checked into the hotel. Again, you'll have that first evening there to go over to the restaurant, which is right there on the property, and have a nice Amish meal that night on your own. And then the next morning on Tuesday, we will be met by our step-on guide. She'll come on. And like I said, she'll spend the next 3 days with us. Now, on the information sheet here that I have, and any of you that are interested, if you don't have it, you can either go on our website or you can get in touch with me or Rhonda, and we'd be more than happy to send it to you. But you'll notice on this here that I didn't for that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't put in there day 2, we're going to be doing this, this, and this, and day 3, such and such and such. I just kind of listed them overall of all of the things that we're going to, a high variety of the things that we're going to be doing. And so I'll just take a couple minutes here and go over those and tell you about the highlights of some of our fun things we're going to be doing. We're going to visit, one of the places we're going to visit is what's referred to as the Rise and Roll Bakery. And this is a personal thing, but a lot of people agree with me, where they have the world's best cinnamon and caramel donut you've ever ate or tasted. It's a fantastic donut. It's not like any other donut. It's just hard to explain. You just have to trust me on this. It's great. Anyway, we'll get to go there, and you'll get to see them making the donuts and everything else they've got back there. And then another highlight of the trip is that one morning we will go and spend probably about 2.5, 3 hours, something like that, at the Shipshewana Flea Market right there in Shipshewana, Indiana. Every summer, and they've been doing this for years and years and years, from about the end of May until maybe it's in May sometime through about early October. Every week, 3 days a week. I think the days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I remember right. Excuse me. They have this huge flea market that happens there in Shipshewana. They have it's an open air market. It's all outside. It's open air, and everybody's got their tents and all that stuff. But they say there's over 900 vendors there. I've never counted them. I've been there several times. I've never counted them, but it's just rows and rows and rows of vendors. Everything there is not totally Amish related. They've got some of your normal flea market stuff in there, but the Amish do come in there with their baked goods, with their flowers. Some of them have these beautiful, and then of course a lot of them have these big, huge vegetable gardens. So they come in there with their vegetables and nursery stuff, if you're looking for a tree or a bush or whatever. Last year, we even had one gentleman bring home this big bush. We managed to get packed on the bus, in the back of the bus, and he brought that home with him. So anyway, they just have a big variety of things there to choose from. So it's just fun to spend a few hours there. And also at the same time, while the flea market's going on, they've got this big, huge auction house that sits right on the property as well. And they've got 5 or 6 different auction rings going in there at one time of all these different miscellaneous trinket stuff and everything that people are trying to sell. So it's kind of fun to stick your head in there and watch that as well. So that's a fun morning spent. And throughout the whole trip, we're going to be visiting different, what we refer to, or what they refer to as quilt gardens out there. Elkhart County, which is where Shipshewana and Middlebury and all that sit, is in Elkhart County. And the Elkhart County Visitors Bureau, a few years back, put together this thing. It's a tourist attraction thing, but they put together where they contacted businesses and said, hey, would you be interested in putting a quilt garden, on your property? And they had a lot of good response out of it. And so they've made it a thing now for several years. But what these quilt gardens are is like, if you can imagine like a normal quilt block that women quilt, all the different colors and designs and all that. Well, that's what these garden of flowers are. They're all different colors, and they're all different shapes and sizes, and they're just very, very colorful. And they have all these volunteers throughout the whole county that go around. They have about, I'd say, maybe 20 gardens all throughout the county, just kind of all over here and there. And anyway, they have these volunteers that just go around to these gardens and keep them up all summer long. And they're beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So we stop and we see a lot of those throughout the 3 days that we're there. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to visit the Dutch Country Market, which is where you'll be able to purchase in there anything from noodles to cheese to candy. They have lots of dry goods there. I always stock up on different dry goods that they have and bring them home. And especially now in the dead of winter when we make a lot of soup here, why it's nice to have a lot of these good dry good things to add to your soup. So anyway, that's a fun place to stop. One of the evenings that we're there, we'll be going to the Bluegate Dinner Theater, where you'll be fed a nice meal, again, nice Amish meal. But then we'll also be seeing the production Dear Soldier Boy. And this is a feel-good, as they describe it, a feel-good, hilarious musical comedy. We were there last year and seen a very good production put on. And they're all Amish related. I mean, the characters are all Amish portrayals. And so it's a fun thing to see. Another thing we'll be doing, we'll go out and be visiting an Amish buggy maker. And there you'll learn the makings and all the detail that goes into making the individual making of these Amish buggies. I know to us on the road, as we drive past them, they all look the same. But a lot of these out there have a lot of different trinkets added to them that these people put in by request. So it's pretty cool to see that. Another stop we'll be making is at Yoder Popcorn, one of my favorite places, just because they've got the best popcorn that I can find. I always stack up and get a bunch to last me from one year to the next year till we go out. So it's really good popcorn. It's a neat place to visit. We'll also be going to Ben's Pretzel Shop. And we did that for the first time this last year, and the folks really enjoyed it. There we'll go in and we'll have a demonstration on how they hand make their pretzels, and then you'll get your own hand at making your own, and then they bake it, and then you'll get it back before we leave. So that's always fun. We'll also go out to Yoder's for supper one night. They're a family that lives just outside of Shipshewana there. And we'll have a nice Amish home cooked meal. They have this big, huge dining room that they've got attached right to their house. So the husband and wife and all their kids do all the preparing, and you have a really good family style meal out there that night. And then after, what's kind of fun too there is after we get done eating, then they take us outside. And for those that want to, can go for a buggy ride out there. They have their own personal buggies, and then they, two at a time, they put you in there and they'll take you up and down the road and give you a lot of history about, what they do and how they farm and so on and so forth. And people really enjoy that. So that's kind of fun. Another thing we're going to be doing this year that we didn't get to do last year, but we did in previous years, is that we're going to be visiting a camel farm. It used to be that there was an Amish family that owned a camel farm out there. And then 3 or 4 years back, that family relocated to another part of the country. And so they left. And so the camel farm temporarily went away. But as of about a year ago or so, last summer, another family bought the camel farm, brought the camels back in, and now they're doing the same thing. So we'll get to go out there and see them. They'll tell us all about the raising of them and how they do. And then they also make, just like the previous family did, they make things like camel soap from the camel milk. They make soaps, oils, lotions, different things like that. And of course you can buy that stuff if you want, but they tell you all about that as well. Another place we'll be visiting is the Teaberry Wood Products. We were there last year. That was a big hit, where you'll see demonstration of the art of basket making. And these guys, this is another family-owned business. Like most of these places we visit, a lot of them are family-owned. The mom and dad, or maybe the grandparents had it at one time, and now mom and dad have it, and now they have kids that are in their teens or however, and they're learning the business and taking the business over. So it just kind of gets passed down from generation to generation. And that's how it is at this wood products place, is that they have a lot of their kids working right there and learning the trade. Another fun thing we'll be doing one day is we'll go and have an Amish haystack lunch, which is an unusual lunch, but I won't tell you much about that, but it's really fun to do that. And then for the guys that are going to be joining us on this trip, like I said, we're going to be staying at the Essen House Inn there in Middlebury. And on Thursday nights, which we'll be there on Thursday night, every Thursday night through the summer, they have what they call their classic car cruise in, where there's a lot of different guys. There's probably 40, 50 cars usually that are out there. A lot of different guys in the area have classic cars, and so they bring them in. It's just like a car show. And so then you get to go walk out in the parking lot there of the Essen house, and then you'll get to walk around and see all these different cars. So that's pretty cool. And there's going to be a lot of some other things that we're going to throw in the mix of all this too. But these are the big fun things that we're going to be doing. And then on Friday, we'll pack up that morning and come on home. So it should be it's a busy 3 days while we're out there. But it's a fun 3 days as we do just a little bit of everything out there. As far as pricing, it's $12.99 per person double occupancy, $15.99 per person single, and $12.09 per person triple or quad. And also, if you book before March 8th, you can get $50 off per person on this trip. So in other words, like the double occupancy, if you book before March 8th, it'll be back to like $12.50. So that's a pretty good deal. I did want to also mention that due to this COVID thing that we're all in the mix of right now, hopefully we'll once again get to, get out of this again. It'll get better as the spring and summer goes along. But we have had to put in place some safety measures here for everybody. And so to ensure the safety of all of our travelers and follow the guidelines of our vendors, effective January 1st this year, this tour will require you to show proof of COVID vaccination and current up-to-date booster status. This mandate will be in order until further notice. It's something that we do just to totally, ensure the safety of all of our passengers and all of our people like you folks that, we want to keep you as safe as possible. And so we've had to do this. And then also another reason too, is that a lot of our vendors right now are requiring that, we have this in place. And so we have just started this as of the first of the year. So we appreciate you guys, going along and cooperating with this. And it should make you feel a lot better that we're all going to keep you as safe as possible. We have the buses always disinfected, and we keep you socially distanced as much as possible on the bus. We still do go again this year, just like last year. We're going with minimum size loads, which usually average 25 to 30 at the very most for folks. So you're able to spread out on the bus and keep your distance. We don't do any mixing of seats anymore, until this thing gets done once and for all, if it ever does. So we just keep you in your same seats. So we try and keep you, as safe as possible. So, okay, I think that pretty well covers what I have to say, Rachel.
Well, Deb, I get it. I understand why people were wanting this trip again. Just listening to all the fun things that you have to do. I'm sure it's a really neat experience.
It is.
Also, now I'm thinking about that donut.
Yeah,
you gotta try that donut at least once in your life, right? So better sign up for the trip.
That's right. Yeah, no, those donuts are good. They're not like any other donut. They're not I'm not a big donut person just because I don't like greasy donuts. These aren't greasy. They're just, it's just a nice powdery, just a nice cake donut is what it is, with a neat flavor and all this caramely cinnamon powder on it. It's a messy thing. Trust me. It gets all over your face, but it's cool. It's really, really good taste.
Sure. Don't forget, Deb mentioned the deadline March 8th to get $50 off. It would definitely be a savings worth taking advantage of. If you have any questions or if you want a printed out itinerary of this trip, you can find it on northlandtravel.com. You can search under group tours and you'll find it there. Any direct questions, like Deb mentioned, feel free to reach out to Deb, or you can call the office and talk to Rhonda. The number is listed below. And this trip definitely has me looking forward to some warmer weather too. So
yes, definitely.
Hopefully this will catch you on a day when you are planning for for that warmer weather too, and some good times to be had. Definitely take a second look at this trip because we've had some great feedback from it in the past. So
good. It's always a fun trip. I've done
Yeah.
it every year now. Well, with exception of 2020 when nobody went anywhere. But
we just don't talk about 2020, do we?
that's right. Anyway, I have done this trip, every year for the past several years, and it's always a big hit. People have they really enjoy it. So yeah, it's fun. You don't have to go that far from home, and yet you get to have 3 days of fun.
You bet. Well, thanks everybody once again for joining us for another travel talk. And Deb, thank you for planning the trip and telling us all about it. And everyone have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.